basically we're going to work on counteract sitting today. Been a lot of sitting lately. So you won't need, maybe if you have yoga blocks, if you choose, or a couple books the same size, we're going to do some stuff in low lunge. So if you like to have your hands on the floor in low lunge, maybe find a little bit of height. But other than that, I think a lot of what we're doing is no props needed. And we are going to start on our backs with our knees bent today. So if you want a few extra moments there to feel your breath on your back with those bent knees, feeling free. My volume's good. Turn it up a little bit. Yeah. I was gonna say, show of hands with our reaction buttons. I guess I told you guys to lay down on your back. I was like, how many people are working next week? I'm still working next week. I will be on Zoom, not Dwayne. Oh, Kelly will be here. So mix of us. I think some people today, it might be their last day. Some people tomorrow's their last day. I'll be here to the end. I don't have little kids anymore. I need to entertain over the winter break. So advantage to having a 20-year-old gone. It's just me. Okay, couple more minutes to go. Oh, Tasha's last day. Oh, I'm eating chocolate before yoga class. Oh, that's awesome. You know what, Tasha, and anyone else? You can totally practice yoga with chocolate or caramel. It's this really awesome mindfulness practice where you actually have to pay attention to the chocolate or the caramel you're eating. So you like maybe smell it or look at it before you eat it. Just take it in. Appreciate all the fine art design on the chocolate. Oh, what did you say?
I said I'm eating it too fast to concentrate on it.
See, you're not doing yoga with your chocolate. And then you have to put it in your mouth, and then you just let it sit there and you notice what it tastes like. And then you watch it and observe it and kind of feel it melt and notice all of those different tastes. So you slowly, it's really hard. I'm a fast eater, but I've done those exercises before. It works really well with where there's caramel, actually. So you should try it. If you're going to eat chocolate during yoga today, you have to mindfully eat chocolate during yoga. And don't choke when you're on your back, because we're going to go on our backs right now. Okay, so welcome everybody. It's our last Thursday class of the year. So let's get ready to just enjoy. So you can lay down on your mat, bring those feet maybe a little wider than the knees. Ease yourself down on those elbows and onto your back. Maybe lift the toes, set them down. Notice how those feet connect with the mat. And just take a moment here to scan your body, check in, and notice where does your body want to move? Where does your body feel a little stiff? Is there any jitters or anxiety you're hoping to get out today? And are there any spots of healing you want to treat with compassion or kindness? Once you have a sense of where you're starting your practice today, how your body feels, let's bring those hands to the belly. And over your next few breaths, I want you to inhale deep and grow your belly up into your hands. And then exhale long, slowly, feeling that belly fall back. And just give yourself a few breath cycles to find a nice, deep, long rhythm that works for you today. Perhaps noticing as well, where do you feel that breath expanding? It's there in the hands, but you also feel it perhaps in your ribs. Or we're laying down, so maybe in the back as well. Just be curious about that deep, long breath. This breath signals to our body that we're arriving here to our practice. We're bringing our focus from the outside of our body into us. Our time to just focus on ourselves, our sensations, and do some movement and strengthening and stretching as well. So you can open those arms to cactus. Start opening those shoulders. And let those knees drop to one side, nice and slow with the breath. And then bring them up across, just doing some windshield wipers. Maybe inhaling one way and exhaling the other. Just slowly bringing movement into those hips. Letting them know, yep, I've been sitting and now we're gonna move. So noticing that rotation in the hip as well as the drop in the knee. Then coming back to center, bring your right knee into your chest and wrap your hands around your shin. Just taking a moment to bring that leg into your chest. We're warming up slowly today, so give your body some time before you pull it nice and deep. And then flex your foot and extend the leg straight. So maybe for some people, that leg will be out on a diagonal, some people will be up in the air. Doesn't matter where it is, just want to flex foot and a straight leg. And then think about your thigh and see if you can pull that thigh a little bit closer to your face. And I mean that aspirationally. It's going to go nowhere close to your face or your belly. You just want the energy from the thigh to think, oh, I want to move closer to that stomach. And your leg may be shaking here because we're working the strength in this hip flexor. We're reminding it that we want it to do more than sit. And then bend your knee a lot. Curl up with your head and your chest and bring your hands on the back side of your calf. You can choose to stay here with your knee bent. Perhaps you want to maybe straighten it a little bit more. But more importantly, I want you to push your leg into your hands, but don't let your leg go down. Yeah, just feel that resistance. And then let go of the push, curl yourself back down, and drop the leg. Bring your left knee in. We're going to try this on the other side. So take a moment just to enjoy the sensation of that knee into your chest. Perhaps you can feel your breath in your belly come close to your thigh. And then flex your foot and extend the leg straight. Letting go the hard part of any competition of where your leg is going when it's straight. And I want you to think about that thigh and think about pulling it towards you, toward the belly. Aspirationally, just directionally, we want to bring that movement. Because training our hip flexors to do this is actually really hard. We don't do this a whole lot in our life. But having strong hip flexors is really beneficial to us. All right, bend the knee. Curl on up with your chest and your head. Bring those hands on the back of your calf. And then maybe straightening your leg a little bit if that feels okay for you. And then begin to push your leg into your hands. Just feel that energy. Feel the work. Maybe breathe. Check in with that. And then you can bend the knee, curl down, and release both feet down. Reach those arms overhead, just giving ourselves a nice big shoulder stretch. Let the knees fall to the side as you pull yourself over onto your side body. Rolling onto your arm, just staying here for a moment. And just connect with your reason why you're here. Why do you do yoga? and fitness in these classes. And just recommit to that reason for yourself, whether it's social, health, fun. Recommit to your reason. And then let's press that top hand into the ground and come on up. We're going to find a tabletop. Spreading those fingers wide, index fingers forward. Really feeling the ground, belly button into spine. Let's drop the belly, raise the sit bones, bring the chest through, gaze up, finding your cow pose. I think it's cow because it has a nice low dropped belly. And then push the ground away, begin to arch your back just like a cat. Releasing the head and neck down, push that ground away. Embrace your inner black cat. And then as you exhale, find your cow pose, the other direction. Now you get to run through cat and cow a few times to your own breath. You get to pick this speed. But whatever speed you're going, I want you to be mindful of this movement. Where do you feel your back moving? Can you feel it moving from one side, slowly through the center, down the other side? And just pay attention to those sensations in your back. Really articulate and feel that movement. And after your next set, come back to a neutral spine. Nice tabletop. Let your right hand get heavy, left hand raises up and you reach forward with that arm. You can choose to stay here, or maybe you want to extend that right leg behind you. So right leg, left arm. Stretching heel to fingertips, feel in that balance, wobble. Then exhale, come down. Let your right hand float up, find your balance. And then extend the left leg long, really pushing that heel away, stretching the fingertips away. Belly button to spine, firming up your core. Let's come on down. Going back to the first side, left arm reaches out, right leg reaches out. We're gonna bend the right knee so that right foot comes up toward the ceiling. Think about engaging your butt muscle and see if you can reach your foot up a little bit. Some little pulses. You're really using your butt muscle for this. And your balance, and your strength. Let's come down to tabletop. One more side, guys. Reach out, right arm long. Take your time. Reach the left foot behind you. When you're balanced, bend that knee. Foot's aiming toward the ceiling. Engage that butt muscle and think about pulsing your foot up. So again, we're stretching the hip flexor here a little way, strengthening the butt muscle, counteracting all of the sitting we do this time of year. Come back down to tabletop. Bring those knees wide, big toes together. Then bring your sit bones toward your heels, finding a child's pose. So you can bring your hands on stacking and rest your head. Perhaps you want to extend the arms and rest the head on the mat. And your sit bones are lightly floating at some height above your heels, but think about the energy of the sit bones pulling toward the heels. At the same time, you're reaching forward with that spine. And then that nice spinal extension, think about inhaling deep, exhaling long. Then walking those hands back in, finding your tabletop. Tucking your toes underneath, pushing the front of the mat away, reaching your sit bones back to your knees hover. And then think about extending your hips up. Those knees can stay bent, but lift those hips into your down dog. And then maybe you want to bend one knee and then the other, walking it out. And I do this with both my knees a little bent all the time. My hamstrings are pretty tight. And then coming into stillness, I want you to really think about connecting the knuckles and the fingertips to the mat, pushing the mat forward, and raising those hips up. Those are the cues we're focusing on lately with down dog. Looking forward, keeping those hips high. Let's walk those feet, baby steps, to behind the hands. Bend the knees, forward fold. Let your head hang. Maybe move those hips side to side. Find a little bit of movement. Press those feet into the ground. Sweep your hands forward and up as you press yourself all the way up to standing, reaching high. Hands to heart center as they come down by your sides. If you're not at the front of the mat, maybe walking there. Just taking a moment to feel yourself grow tall from the base of your feet all the way up your legs past your hips. Let your spine just reach up. And your head and neck extend toward the ceiling. Inhale together. Exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Hands come to shins, extend your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Then inhale, push to stand, sweeping those arms all the way up, reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep those arms up, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back with your right foot nice and long. We're going to drop the back knee. And if you have some height, some books or pots or blocks, you may want to put them underneath your hands at the front. Because we're going to go from this lunge, we're going to move the sit bones back, working on bringing that toe up, front leg. I stay to straight, but my knee stays bent into this half forward fold. Just notice how that feels here. And then move back to the lunge. Now with your own breath, you're going to inhale one direction, nice and slow, coming into that half forward fold. And then exhale as you come back to the lunge. So just like the cat-cow, the move can be your own speed, but you're doing this mindfully. How does the sensation in your leg change as you switch position? So where do you feel that sensation of stretch, move? And then the next time you're in the back, half forward fold, we're just going to take a moment to stay there. Bend your knee if it's not bent. Push your front heel into the ground. And then think about what if you wanted to pull that heel back towards you. So it's not moving, but you're switching the sensation in your leg. You're engaging that effort to pull the foot back. And check in with that breath. Then we're going to come forward to that lunge. Tuck the back toes. Press the hands into the ground. And however you can, step back to plank on the knees or on the toes. Yogi's choice. Bring that belly button into your spine, nice engaged core, and slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck the toes and lift your chest and head, pushing the hands into the ground, into your baby cobra. You can put tucking those elbows in close to your body. Exhale down. Tuck the toes, feel the knees, and get ready to strengthfully push yourself up to plank on knees. That is hard. Walk your hands back to tabletop, and then find your down dog. Now, hardest part of my job is to think, what leg did we just do? We're gonna inhale, look forward, and step the other leg forward. I think it's the right one. Whew. Drop the left knee. Camera's on, give me a thumbs up if this is right. This is the different leg? Perfect, thank you. All right, so feel that lunge just for a moment, maybe find your height. And just like we did on the other side, move with your breath. So inhale as you move back to that half forward fold. And then move forward to the other half of the breath. So again, no right or wrong in terms of speed. That front leg, like I said, mine stays bent because I feel the sensation. I feel the stretch in the back of my leg without straightening it all the way. If I straightened it all the way, I would not be walking tomorrow. So pay attention for your own body on what works best for you in terms of deepness. And the next time you come back to that half forward fold, you're gonna bend the knee if it's not already bent, push the left heel into the ground, and think about pulling the heel back. And just notice, where does that work come from? What do you feel working while you engage that motion? And then slowly exhale, come back to lunge. Tuck those back toes, and however you can, step back to plank on the knees or toes. And in your plank, double check that your belly button's coming close to spine. If you have room to think about more things, think about squeezing your butt cheeks together. And then exhale, come all the way down to your belly. Untuck the toes and come to baby cobra. Feeling those elbows tuck in. And find your breath while we're here. And let's come all the way down. Tuck the toes, feel the knees press into the mat, and use your strength to push yourself up to plank on knees. Coming back to tabletop and finding your down dog. Rechecking in with your hands here, spreading the fingers wide, feeling the knuckles and the fingertips. Lifting those hips nice and high. We're gonna inhale, looking forward. Keeping those hips high, walk your feet behind the hands. Bend the knees, forward fold. Pressing the feet into the ground, let's sweep those arms forward and up. Coming all the way, reaching high. Ring fingers to the ceiling. Hands together and through heart center. Arms by your sides. Close your eyes. And just see where you feel that last sequence. I'm really feeling a lot of work in the back of my thighs. A little bit of muscular effort was working hard there for me. But where do you feel it? And does that feel like it was good work? Did you push too hard, not enough? No judgment there, just think about that. Moving into the next session or the next sequence. Do you want to push yourself harder today? Are you at a great speed, great push level for you? Or do you need to back off a little bit? All right. Inhale, sweep those hands forward and sit your sit bones back or finding chair. Ooh, really reach those fingertips forward. Look down and see if you can see your toes. I want you to lift those toes up, and if you can't see them, move your sit bones back so you can see your toes. And then have fun trying to set the big toe down all by itself. And maybe the other toes, if that is you. I'm still working on the big toes. And then exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, and let's step back with the left foot nice and long. Pivot that back foot so the toes are facing the side of the mat. Bend the front knee and come up finding your warrior two. So in your warrior two, your arms are reaching long out to the sides, really extend. And then check that you have equal weight in your back foot and your front foot. So sometimes if everything's coming to the front leg, it can really hurt the knee. So push into both. Bring the gaze over the fingers and just embrace this strength building moment. You are strong. You are building even more strength. Straighten the front leg. Take a little breather. We all need those once in a while. And then start to reach forward with that right hand. Reach, reach, reach. Keep reaching. When you can't reach anymore, you can drop that hand onto your thigh or your shin. And then reach that upper hand toward the ceiling, finding your triangle. And if you're feeling balanced here, if you feel there's room for you to grow, maybe think about leaning against a back wall. Checking in with the breath. And then you can begin to bend that front knee again. Bring the arms down to the ground and step that back foot forward about halfway. Might take a couple steps. Maybe adjust yourself on the mat if there's furniture in the way. And we're going to warrior three. So if you know your warrior three, go straight there. Otherwise, we're going to tent our fingers in front of our foot. Flex the back leg, back foot, and bring up that back leg. So very similar to earlier in class, we're engaging that hip flexor. And if you're playing patty cake with the ground, your job is to keep trying to bring that leg up no matter how high. Just keep trying, working the hip flexor. If you're feeling good here, you can bring the arms up, out to the side, just like an airplane. Or maybe you want to reach them long in front for that warrior three, that balance challenge. Finding that breath. If you fall out, you just get back in. And then we're going to bring the hands down, bring the back foot to meet the front. Find your forward fold. Shake it off in that forward fold, no matter how that standing balance pose went. And let's sweep those hands forward and up, standing tall. Bring those hands through heart center to your sides. And check in with your body. We did that sequence on one side, but not the other. So how do you feel right now? Do you have something on fire, a good fire, on one side and not the other? What kicked in for that sequence? Let's try it on the other side. Sitting back into chair. Really reaching those fingertips forward, reaching the sit bones back, checking out those toes, lifting them up, and playing around with setting them down with control. Forward fold. Step back with the right foot nice and long, finding your lunge. Pivot the back toes so they turn to the side, bend the front knee. Come up into warrior two. Take a moment to press into your front foot and your back foot equally. Reaching those arms long, gaze over the front fingers. And just embrace building this strength. We're definitely building some physical strength here in our legs, but we're building emotional strength and emotional resilience just by staying in something that's difficult, that's very possibly a little uncomfortable, especially if you're newer. It's easier as you go. But just knowing that you're trying again, and you're trusting your gut if you need that break. So let's straighten the front leg and take that break. Then begin to reach forward with the left hand. Keep reaching. Reach. Then drop the hand down to the leg. Turn your torso and reach the hand into triangle pose. And check in with the breath. And I am just your guide, so if you know other variations here, feeling free to take them. And then let's bend the front knee, bring those arms down. Step forward about halfway, and you're gonna find your warrior 3 on the other side. Whichever variation you want. And we're holding this for a while, so this gives you lots of opportunity to play patty cake with that leg, to work on bringing it high, flexing it out behind you. If you're balancing well on the ground, I want you to think about leveling up those hips. So if your one hip is kind of up in the air, can you try and make them level so someone can put a coffee cup on your hips? So many things that you can work on warrior 3. And then let's bring those hands down, back foot to the front, bend the knees, forward fold. Push the feet into the ground and sweep those arms all the way up. Reach high. Exhale, hands through heart center, arms by the sides. Close your eyes and check in with where do you feel this pose now that you've done it on both sides. You can open those eyes. Step back with your left foot. Maybe you want to turn to the side of your mat or forward. We're gonna go that way. Okay. Think your left foot gets heavy, right foot gets light. Flexing the right foot, let's bring that knee up. So you're making kind of a square shape with your right leg in the air. Make sure you flex that standing leg. Perfect. Now let's bring those arms out to the sides, kind of like we're a Karate Kid from the 80s. And then just like we did on our backs, we're gonna extend that leg forward with the flex foot. So we're practicing our balance here, but we don't want to forget about those hip flexors. Think about bringing your thigh closer to your belly. And that's aspirational, but think about lifting the leg. Breathe. And then you can bend that knee, set that foot down, maybe pedal the legs. This hip flexor strength takes time to build. Takes time to learn how to turn that hip flexor on, but this is awesome for counteracting sitting. All right, let's get the right foot heavy. Left foot gets light. Flex that left foot and bend the knee. Reach those arms out. Just helps with the balance. And then extend that leg to straight. Letting go of any kind of competition or ego on how high that leg is. Flex the foot and just try and bring it a little higher, a millimeter higher. See if you can turn on that obscure muscle and see if you can bring that foot just a little bit higher. And then bend the knees. Set the foot down and shake it out. Maybe punch out those hip flexors a little bit. Yeah, that can feel nice. Okay. Reach those arms out in front of you like a zombie, facing the front of your mat. Maybe your feet are about hip width apart. Come up onto the ball of your feet. So the toes plus a little bit of the front of the foot. We're playing with balance here. If your heels come down, try and raise yourself up again. And then slowly begin to bend the knees, coming into a toe squat. And you get to find your height. Where does this feel like a good balance? Where does it feel like you're building some muscle along with that balance? Where do you feel the legs shake in a good way, but not so much that you want to fall down? And then however you can, we're going to come all the way down to the mat. We're going to come onto our knees, both hip width apart, onto high knees. So those shins are on the ground, but your butt is up in the air. Okay. Maybe take a moment to roll those shoulders back a few times. And as you roll those shoulders back, think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. If someone put a pen between your shoulder blades, could you hold that pen there as you make those rotations? All right. Let's all pretend we have jean pockets and slide our hands into our jean pockets. Maybe think about bringing those elbows a little closer together, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And see if you can squeeze your butt muscles. Can you turn them on and really engage them? Think about bringing your hips forward and then leaning back. So not back bending, just leaning back as a straight line. Just notice how that feels. And then bring yourself forward and down to your heels. Take a moment to sit here with a nice tall spine. Maybe you have a pillow or some height you want to sit on. We're going to try that again. You can do the same option we just did that strengthens the front of the quads, it stretches the hip flexors. But we're going to add a little bit of a back bend if you choose. You get to choose. All right, let's come on up. Pretend we have those jean pockets. Let's slip those hands into our back jean pockets. Think about bringing the shoulder blades together. Engage your butt muscles. Bring those hips forward. And this time, think about lifting your chest up over a high bar as you lean back. And if it feels good, maybe you want to reach your hands from those jean pockets to your heels. Now this takes some time. You can also tuck your toes. But if you want to play around with that back bend, you can. Wherever you are, leaning back or back bending, make sure you're breathing. And then slowly press into those heels. You're going to bring one hand to your jean pocket, then the other. And then we're all going to come forward, back down to kneeling, sitting nice, long spine. Catch up with that breath. Coming forward into tabletop. Last little bit of arm strength because we'll do a little extra. It's the last class before break. You're going to find plank from the knees or plank from the toes. Think about belly button to spine, squeezing those glutes together. And we're slowly going to lower to the count of 5. Are you ready? Can't hear any of you. Okay, let's go. 5, 4, 3, you guys got this. 2, maybe hover, and all the way down. Reach those arms behind you, fingers to toes, and rest your right cheek on the mat. Maybe close your eyes. And just check in with feeling your breath as it presses against the mat from your belly, from your chest. And just notice the speed of the breath and how that's changed since the beginning of class. And then you can lift your head, turn your neck and melt the left cheek to the mat. And then refocus on your breath. Maybe checking out the depth of that breath or the temperature of the breath. And then you're gonna reach your left arm forward, right hand by your chest, and just help yourself roll over onto your back. Recentering yourself on the mat. Planting the feet, knees bent, and coming back to that position we were at the beginning of class. You can bring your right knee into the chest, hands around the shin, just like we started. And being curious with how this feels now compared to where you started. You've been moving, stretching, strengthening, building heat. So how does that affect this pose, this shape? And then allow the right knee to come out to the side and cross your right ankle on top of your left knee, making this little figure four. If you feel a good sensation of stretch here, then stay here and enjoy the sensation. If your body doesn't feel much here, you can begin to curl up, lift your head and chest, let your foot come off the floor and wrap your hands around your left thigh, bringing that leg a little bit closer, and then melting back down to the mat. So whether you're in figure four or reverse pigeon, find that sensation of stretch, that sensation of changing your range of motion, challenging that range of motion in a good way. And when you take that nice long inhale, see if you can send that breath, that oxygen to that area. Give it a little bit of support. And now ask yourself, where else do I feel this pose? Where else is there sensation that's maybe not as loud as that first place, but where else is there sensation? And send the breath there. And then you can release your hands, your feet can come to the mat. Take a moment here just to feel the difference between the left side and the right side. And then bring your left knee, other knee, into the chest. You guys know which the other side is. It's probably the hardest part about teaching with a lot of screens off or people laying on the ground and out of camera. Other side. Just again, be curious about how this has changed since the beginning of class. And then allow that left knee to come out and left ankle to come on top of the right knee. Finding your figure four. Checking in with the sensation. You're feeling a good sensation here, a good range of motion challenge, stay. If it feels right for your body to increase that challenge today, then you can curl up, reach the hands behind the thigh, and find your reverse pigeon. Sending the breath to the most intense sensation first. And then looking around for the other areas of the body that also feel this pose. Yoga is all about you and how you feel things in your body. Where do you feel them? Can you figure out what that sensation means? Does it mean that's enough? Does it mean go harder? Does it mean I need to move a bit more or a bit less? So we're learning to feel all the little things in our body and learning to trust ourselves on what they mean. And that can take a really long time. So I'm glad you're all here today to work on it. And then slowly, you can release those hands and bring your feet back to the ground. Bringing those legs together so they touch and opening those arms to cactus or a T shape, depending on your room. And then you can let those knees fall on over to one side. And this is a relaxed twist. We're coming to the end, so we don't want to engage anymore. So those knees can separate, the shoulder can float. Perhaps bring your gaze over the opposite shoulder. Where do you feel the sensation the most? And that can change. Today I feel this more in my mid-back. For me, that's a little bit of a different place. But that's my body today. And just allow each exhale to let you sink a little bit more toward the ground. Then slowly bring your knees back to center, gaze to center. And allow them to fall to the other side. Nice and relaxed. Gaze can fall over the other side. And observing where you feel the sensations in this twist. And allowing each exhale to bring you closer to the mat. At a nice, slow, moseying speed. Letting gravity be your workout friend. And then you can slowly bring your gaze back to center, knees to center. And reach those legs out long on the mat, heels to the corners. Sweep those arms down, almost like you're making a little snow angel. Let the back of the hands come onto the ground. Perhaps like to tuck your chin into the chest, lengthen the neck, and set the head back down. And I want you to take a great big breath through the nose. And then exhale slowly through the mouth. One more time when you're ready. Inhaling deep through the nose. And exhaling long through the mouth. And perhaps noticing how your body just releases more into the mat. If you want to do that one or two more times, please do. You have the power to choose what feels good for your body and your mind. Say yes or no to each shape and each breath. And the purpose of this final rest, of this time laying on the mat and feeling the breath, is to help the body restore. We did a lot of strength building and a lot of active flexibility building today in those hips. And that puts strain on the body. And for that to be good for the body, we also need to give it rest time. We need to give it water time so that it can take this movement medicine we gave it and use it to its best ability. So that is why we rest at the end of class. That is why we enjoy some water after class. And if you have some time, feeling free to stay in this rest place a little longer. But if you're having to get back to class, back to work, then I encourage you to wiggle those toes, wiggle those fingers. Reach those arms up overhead, stretching fingertips to toes. Great big noon hour stretch. Planting one foot on the mat and then the other. And let's slowly roll on over to your side. Pausing here and thinking of one thing today you are grateful for. Maybe one thing you're proud of too. Then you can press that top hand into the ground and slowly come up to a comfortable seat. Keeping those eyes closed, but allowing the spine to reach tall toward the ceiling. And doing a quad body scan here to check in and notice how you feel now compared to the start of class. Bringing those hands to heart center, tucking the chin, and we'll end with a great big inhale. And let everything go with that exhale. And maybe an extra little blow of air, letting go of class, letting go of the term, and getting ready for whatever comes next. So thank you so much for joining me this term on Thursdays. I encourage you to check out the Sax Polytech Fitness channel over the break. Subscribe to that. Do all our back catalog of all our classes. Share them with your friends. Do them together. You know, you can hit play, zoom it, share your screen, and have fun being active over the holidays. Other than that, have a wonderful day, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah.
You're
Thanks so
welcome.
much, Sarah.
Welcome. Good to see
Awesome.
you.
Have a great Christmas,
Thank you. You too.
everyone.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Sarah, how does your next semester look?
My next semester is exactly the same. Actually, I was going to ask you guys, do you have money to pay me to teach some more?
We do, yeah. How do you feel about starting that? Are you back that very first week, the fourth week?
I am back on the 4th.
Yeah. Okay. We were going to start out that week. We're going to have a week off during Feb break. So there'll be no classes at all during that week. And then I guess your last class would be the 15th of April. And then we'll kind of give it 2 weeks and then we'll see how kind of things are going from there and maybe start up again in May.
Sounds good.
That work?
That works for me.
Perfect. That's excellent. Right on.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
enjoy your holiday.
Yeah.
Are you done tomorrow or are you working next week?
No, I'm working next week. I help with the Zoom room a little bit. And then I'm planning, I have to do one of the sessions for international orientation on the 8th. So working on that, but it'll be pretty slow. So can't complain. Are you guys next week or are you guys done?
Maybe a little bit Monday, sort of. Half paying attention.
Yeah, are you paying attention to Zoom next week?
Yes.
Zoom and emails, that's probably the more accurate question.
Yeah, emails and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, well, we'll see you later. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
Sarah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for all the awesome content you provided for us this semester. That was much appreciated. Very good.
100%. Yeah.
You're welcome. I enjoy it. It's fun.
I really like, this is going to sound creepy, but I enjoy sitting here and listening and doing work when you do your class. It's nice to just have something else going on, right? And it's just peaceful to sit and listen to and keep working. So it's awesome.
Cool. I'll always take feedback, but
yes. I enjoy it.
I have this thing with my teaching is sometimes I'm like, oh, I totally hit that. I'm good. And other days I'm like, why am I a yoga teacher? Like, I don't do this enough. It's like, I teach twice a week. Don't know what I'm talking about. And then other days it's like, no, you're fine. You're good. Such
100%.
a weird thing.
Yeah, everybody loves it. Honestly, the feedback we get is excellent. So if you don't hear much, we do, and people love it. So keep going.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Christmas.
See you later.
Bye.